Inspiring Uganda UBC it is. Thank you so much for joining us this lovely Friday, the 13th of April 2018. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and it is News Tonight. Now, before we quick start this newscast, let's take a look at the headlines. Uganda's athlete Joshua Cheptegei wins another gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. Uganda finally agrees to take on Eritrean refugees. Decision on Syria crisis to come fairly soon. And in sports, Arthur Bleak acquires a fancied Subaru Evolution 10. A warm welcome to you once again. Thank you so much for keeping us company. And on sign language, I'm having Elizabeth Nakakoni. Now, quickly starting this newscast. Uganda has a mined more gold in Australia following Joshua Cheptegei's dramatic win in the men's 10,000 meters finals. Now, Joshua Cheptegei, an officer with the Uganda police, clocked 27 minutes and 19 seconds over the 25-lap race, setting a new games record. The win also makes Uganda the third athlete to win gold in both 5,000 and 10,000 meters at the Commonwealth Games. Congratulations to Uganda, I should say. Anyways, moving on, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has delivered a congratulatory message to Joshua Cheptegei upon his victory of the 10,000-meter marathon at the Commonwealth Games.
An absolutely brilliant run, full of bravery, full of intent. Cheptegei takes the title, 27:19.
I want to congratulate our son, Joshua Cheptegei, for winning a second gold medal. I want to say congratulations to you, and I want you to know that you've been praying for you people. I must also say the same congratulations to Stella Chesang and the entire Uganda team in Gold Coast, Australia. You have done us proud, and glory be to God. Thank you. We can't wait until you come back.
New personal best and national record for Jake Robertson of 27:30.
More tonight, cheers and ululations are filled the home of sprinters as our fans took to the streets to celebrate the 10,000-meter race. Our reporter, Amon Ngabo, strolled on the home of Joshua Cheptegei and brings us the details.
Is the talk in town, not only in Kapchorwa right here, but also the surrounding villages. I'm standing at Vegas Sports Complex, one of the biggest sports arenas in Kapchorwa that is going to telecast the 10,000-meter race live. Apparently, all the top athletes in Kapchorwa have gathered here. A few people we managed to talk with, they actually assured that Joshua can win gold in the 10,000-meter race.
And Cheptegei Joshua is my fellow colleague, he's a Sabine. Why I need him to win is that he has made us proud, and I need him to win this race, which he's going to do, because he's a man of passion, he's a man who doesn't segregate.
Chataminga lotegandet, chataminga lotegandet, chanarek sojet tegandet, kalamitenga londe tegandet, Joshua Cheptegei tegandet.
The mood in Kapchorwa is at the moon. Everyone is excited. Joshua Cheptegei has just won gold in the 10,000-meter race in Australia. Let me talk to Joshua. Joshua is the brother to Cheptegei. Samuel, how do you feel?
I feel very proud as a Ugandan, very proud as a Sabine and everything. It is just wow! Joshua!
Exactly. Did you expect this win?
In fact, our celebration is not that Joshua has won, it was not a surprise. We knew Joshua is winning. It is just in a unique way. 3 medals at a time. Joshua, it is nothing. It's not surprising. We knew he would make it. But our celebration is that he has made Uganda and Kapchorwa Survey region, which has always underlooked, to be now known.
Okay. You two, how do you feel about the win?
I feel so happy, I feel so proud about him, being a brother, being man of the soil, being our son. I feel extremely proud.
Okay. Towards the last lap, there was a lot of pressure. Towards the last lap, there was a lot of pressure. But immediately, he kept holding on. How do you feel after his win?
We actually feel very proud of him. He has really made it, and we all expected it. We knew him. We have brought him from childhood, and I work with the Centenary Bank. We are proud of him.
Mama, how do you feel after the win?
Wow! I feel so proud!
Okay.
And it should be!
Okay.
It's not his first time!
Okay.
He has made it and he has made it!
In your language, how do they say excited? Okay, and you say?
Baba, kaje somji Joshua na, kaje Joshua.
Wonderful.
Exactly, the mood is high, the expectation, the celebrations is high. You can see everyone wants to talk to.
Son of the Soul's producer, Sandra Kahunde is alive, and I'm going to produce a song. By so saying, they can let this something very big.
Okay. Exactly. Joshua Cheptegei has made it. He has won a double in 5,000, in 10,000, and indeed, Kapchorwa is on fire.
Thank you, Emma. Great excitement right there. Cheptegei has really made us proud. Now, in news regarding the head of state, President Yoweri Museveni has met Betty Nachambade, a robbery victim of Mukoko village in Bukulula sub-county, Kalungu district, who was attacked by notorious Bukoma and Simbi thugs on 10th April 2018. Nachambade, who met the president at his country home in Rachitura, Tiruhura district, was in the company of a team of security people that were led by Masaka Brigade Joseph Semwanga. The president thanked Nachambade for being brave and alerting the neighbors, who later collaborated with security to rescue her. The thugs who attacked Ms. Nachambade were 2 criminals who had been arrested by escaped early this year, the criminals that escaped early this year to Bukoma and Simbi district, and they were attacked and murdered 5 people on New Year's Eve. Another notorious thug, Musa Galiwango, is currently on the run while the accomplice Achida Walime Muhammad was killed by angry residents. President Museveni directed Nachambade, who is an enrolled nurse, to be given a job. He also commended the area police officer in charge, ASP Twinomjisha Stephen, for quickly responding to Nachambade's call in time and vigilancy. He directed that he too be rewarded. Now, the regional police commander for Greater Masaka, SP Latif Zake, asked the public to join the Uganda police force in fighting crime through neighborhood watch strategy and a Mayumba Kumi system. Now, in other news, Ugandan government has accepted the request by Israel state and other refugee managing organizations to relocate 500 Eritreans and Sudanese refugees from Israel to Uganda. During a press conference in Kampala to clarify on the relocation of these refugees, the Minister of State for Relief, Disaster and Refugees, Musa Echweru, emphasized that this is meant to reunite them with their relatives already living in Uganda.
Uganda hosts 1.4 million refugees, of which 30,000 are Eritreans, majority of whom live in Hoima and Chivale refugee settlement. Despite this population, 500 more Eritrean and Sudanese refugees are to be relocated to Uganda from Israel.
Processing, the eligibility committee is standing by just to receive the first batch, and will make it public. When they come, you will see them and will process them through the assessment, and those who will meet our criteria will certainly be granted asylum immediately. But we have a policy which is an open door policy. We are a very hospitable country, and we are proud to be that. We will continue to cushion those in distress, and that is our position.
Uganda has itself relocated a number of refugees to other countries like USA. That is why government positively considered the request from Israel. Ichuru further denied allegations of some refugees from Israel already being in Uganda.
Not to my knowledge, because they have not gone through our system, and if they are here, then those are trespassers. But we are working together with the system, the State of Israel, with our organizations to make sure that those who are coming come through the normal channel.
Refugees who cannot support themselves shall be placed in resettlement camps, while those who plan to start businesses will be assessed on a case-to-case basis. Meanwhile, it has been noted with concern that with the escalating conflicts in DR Congo, some refugees are slipping into Uganda through Masindi. The Ministry for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees revealed plans of opening a reception center in Kanungu. I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.
Thanks, Farida, for the update. Now moving on, wars, hunger and poverty in Africa have driven many people from their homelands. The places where some of these people seek asylum also have challenges. The escalating numbers of Eritrean refugees in Uganda is one of these new developments that need more attention. We have a report on that.
Yeah, and then the wires.
They can be easily identified by the mushrooming lucrative businesses that bear Tigrinya writings. They range from restaurants, bars and groceries. The Eritrean community is rapidly growing in Kampala district. The enclaves include Najanankumbi on Entebbe Road, Rubaga, Nankulabye Old Kampala, Kansanga, Kabalagala and Bunga. It's however difficult to distinguish between Ethiopian and Eritreans since they all bear similar features. The recent media reports that Israel has a secret deal with two countries, Uganda and Rwanda, to have Eritrean and South Sudanese immigrants relocated to these two countries have been vehemently denied by officials from the two countries. It's not clear as to whether some of these people are part of the alleged relocated deportees to Uganda. However, Friday's statement by the Disaster Preparedness Minister, Musa Echweru, seems to have put the lingering matter to rest. But the question remains, what is the fate of those alleged to have already been brought into Uganda?
Well, we'll now settle for a very short break. When we return, we have more local stories that open up on our news desk. Stay with us. Newstonight, it is a welcome back. Now, moving on, Uganda Communications Commission has secured 50 biometric card readers from NERA to streamline the customer identification services. Now, under the arrangement, more people applying for new SIM cards will access the service with effect from Monday next week. This is after UCC had previously blocked telecom companies from issuing new SIM cards to avoid unknown persons from benefiting from the services.
Recently, Uganda Communications Commission issued a temporary halt on sale of new SIM cards to all telecommunications in a bid to improve on the service delivery. This, according to UCC, there was a need to acquire more verification equipment to boost customer identification. The situation has seen more than hundreds of people trekking to National Identification Registration Authority headquarters in Kololo to acquire letters of verification to get new SIM cards. UCC has acquired 50 biometric card readers from NERA to ease access of customer identification and also avoid selling SIM cards to unknown persons.
As evidence of the 50 that we will be lending to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biometric card readers have been hired to UCC for a period of 1 month as UCC implements move to purchase own equipment.
Because the letters were not the most secure verification method. So now we have gone to the proper, most secure verification method, which is the card reader. That's one. So it meets the needs of everybody, and that's why NERA has lent them.
According to Uganda Communications Commission, with effect from Monday next week, anyone who holds an original national identification card can acquire a new SIM card from specified telecom entities.
We are fully aware of the consequences the inconveniences that it has caused of Uganda, but all this was intended to create full proof in the process and have our SIM cards issued to those who are supposed to have the SIM cards issued to. And we shall, with immediate effect, deploy the SIM card, the ID readers to our licensees so that they can put in practice, put in place the process of the validation.
The national ID has got up to 15 security features that are uneasily forged, and according to NIDA, only original national identity cards are to be accepted.
So the card may be genuine, but the fingerprint of the one who has presented it doesn't match, and this qualifies for some more investigation.
The Land Inquiry Chairperson Justice Catherine Bamgemeri has ordered for a DNA test on David Semanda from the government analyst to prove whether he is a grandson to the late Ham Mukasa. It follows a controversy raised by David Semanda claiming to be Ham Mukasa's grandchild. Our reporter has more of that.
According to the information availed to the Commission, the late Makai Karula Mukasa was deported from London in 1954 due to mental illness.
They were close, they knew each other, and that his education was terminated because of an unsound mind. And here you are telling us, really, you man.
David Semanda was apparently shocked by the Commission's decision to carry a DNA test on him.
So I shall ask the government analyst to take samples of you for a DNA test. It may not be the only one. As soon as the funds allow, we shall probably do other tests on you. But for a starting this afternoon, you will go to the government analyst, you will give up your samples. We will find within the line, because the interesting thing about DNA is it doesn't have to be anti-Ida Jesse. It can be anybody else.
It is alleged that David Semanda was a caretaker to the late Makai Karula Mukasa, but upon his death, he declared himself as an administrator to his estate.
Why are you carrying around letters of administration when there are other letters of administration? And why do you actually use your letters of administration when there is still a case in court?
Having provided contradictory information to the Commission, Semanda was reminded that he was under oath. Justice Catherine Bamgemeri wondered how Semanda accessed the land office without any hindrance.
What we have found on the record is that you appear to have a very special relationship with registrars in Mukono.
David Semanda was partly accused of subdividing 640 acres of land in Namatabania, Namagunga, and earned billions.
Is that the land you claim to have been given by your father?
The Commission clarified on the late Albert Makai's mental illness.
You didn't know anything to do with his mental sickness?
Semanda was informed that the alleged will left by the deceased was declared as forgery by the High Court. The Commission adjourned to Monday next week. Sudat Kai reporting.
Thanks, Sudat, for the update. The Uganda Curriculum Development Center is reviewing the advanced level education curriculum with emphasis placed on competences to address the unemployment challenge. While addressing the press at the Media Center in Kampala, the director NCDC Grace Baguma revealed that the president contributed 2 billion Ugandan shillings towards the preliminary activities of the process. Meanwhile, Uganda is to host the International Conference on Curriculum for Sustainable Learning at the end of next month. The agenda includes discussing curriculum reviews, instructions, and politics, among others. It is expected to be attended by 120 participants from different countries.
about himself or to ask questions or to understand. So that's one competency that is a generic competency that fits into whether you are learning to become a journalist or an agriculturalist or whatever. So the curriculum, the reforms that we are looking at or reviews is, can we improve it and make it competency-based and go ahead with a competency-based curriculum as opposed to objective-based curriculum. Parents currently are crying that the children are overwhelmed with too much content at all levels. They carry books on their backs, they read throughout the night, they wake up in 3 a.m. The topic is innovations, ICT and the new technologies in curriculum implementation, and also preparing students for success. That is rethinking, doing, well-being and learning. Can we have children this time round to be able to be contributors? So we keep reviewing to make it better, and we keep thinking. So we think this time round, let us think together as Africa.
In other news, the fight against the contaminated water in Bulambuli district has been boosted by water purification machines from Marita Foundation in partnership with Henry Foster Trust. Details follow.
Statistics show that 75% of diseases in Uganda are a direct result of lack of clean water and proper sanitation. It's against this background that Bulambuli district sought help to purify its water. In collaboration with Marita Foundation and Henry Foster Trust, Bulambuli district is now proud of 2 water purification machines at Muyembe Health Center 4 and Muyembe Boys Primary School.
The reason we are doing that, we are giving safe water system to the children so that they get safe water while at school, but we also want to take them the message, have to take the message back home to their parents that they must drink safe water.
The project includes water harvest, water tanks, plumbing and piping, solar panels, solar batteries and water purification machines.
It's a system that doesn't take any chemicals at all. It's all driven by cleanness of the water, driven by the filters that we put in the system and by the ultraviolet light that we put in that kills all the bacteria, 99.9%.
The machine purifies 100 liters of water per hour, 99.9% free of bacteria and viruses. The plan is to provide water purification systems in all universal primary education schools and health centers in Uganda.
The minister is very supportive and very grateful to the work that has been done by the Marita Foundation and together with the Foster Foundation, because by lending a hand in reducing the waterborne diseases, they are lending a hand to the better health service delivery in this nation.
Clean water and adequate sanitation can greatly reduce waterborne diseases, including diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid, and cholera. John Barnes, Centum, reporting.
Thanks, Barnes, for the update. And now we settle for a very short break. After these messages, I'll be returning with international news. Welcome back. Now on updates regarding the international scene. President Donald Trump putting off a final decision on strikes against Syria following a crunch meeting with national security advisors. But Moscow has warned against any U.S. move that could trigger a conflict between the nuclear-armed rivals. The U.S. president handled with military leaders to discuss options on retaliating against the alleged chemical attack in Syria.
What will the U.S. do and what is its policy on Syria? Still 2 big question marks here at the White House as U.S. President Donald Trump and other national security officials going through their options for Syria. Remember, he first tweeted that his response would happen in 24 to 48 hours. Those 48 hours are up. Then he indicated to Russia that missiles were essentially on their way. Smart and new, he said, criticizing Russia's support for Bashar al-Assad's government in Syria. Then he basically tweeted, well, I never really set a timeline in Syria. We may or may not intervene. He had this to say a short time ago here at the White House.
We're looking very, very seriously, very closely at that whole situation, and we'll see what happens, folks. We'll see what happens. It's too bad that the world puts us in a position like that, but you know, as I said this morning, we've done a great job with ISIS. We have just absolutely decimated ISIS, but Now we have to make some further decisions, so they'll be made fairly soon.
Meanwhile, US officials say they're fairly certain a chemical weapons attack did occur around Duma and in Duma on April the 7th. They've been analysing the intelligence, both raw and reported from the field. So Secretary of Defence here, James Mannes, thinks that has happened, but also open the window for maybe waiting until the results of an investigation before any strike as well.
I believe there was a chemical attack, and we're looking for the actual evidence. The OPCW, this is the Organization for the Chemical Weapons Convention. We're trying to get those inspectors in probably within the week. You know the challenges we face, where Russia has 6 times in the UN rejected and made certain that we could not get investigators in.
Now, of course, if there is any strike, the big worry is that the US and Russia could come into direct conflict. They've had these worries before, as US has attacked ISIS positions in Syria. Also worries about any mistakes on the ground or in the air. So there has been contact about potentially deconflicting, that is suggesting where strikes might happen, so Russian forces and others potentially can move out of the way. So this is potentially a strike just on Bashar al-Assad's forces, although the feeling is this would be bigger than the 59 Tomahawk missiles that were launched in April last year. Of course, it may be in coordination with France and the UK as well, and could be more sustained as well. Hence, perhaps the reticence here about when you go and how deep you go in, because Russia is pushing back very firmly on this potential attack. Nathan King, CGTN at the White House.
Welcome back now to sports. After a slow start to the 2018 rally season, Arthur Bleek has finally made the long-awaited switch from the Subaru N14 to the fancied Evolution 10. He joins an exclusive class that includes current National Rally Championship leader Jas Mangati. Details do follow.
Arthur Bleek has upgraded from his Subaru N10 to an Evolution X rally car, popularly known as Kisode, among Ugandan rally fans. The 2015 National Rally Championship winner believes that this will give him a competitive advantage as he pursues a repeat of his 2015 exploits.
Basically, we've upgraded from Subaru N10 to a Mitsubishi Evo X, commonly known as Kisode. And to be honest, the performance is great. The performance compared to my older car is much better. It's quick. It's a quicker vehicle. The suspension works better, and the brakes are much more efficient. So I am looking forward to giving the top boys a run for their money in Masaka.
He joins that exclusive list of Kefa Warubi, Ronald Sebuguzi, Omar Mayanja, Jas Mangat, and Rauf Adam. The car is still under final mechanical attention, awaiting the Masaka rally later this month. John Barnes, Centum, reporting.
Thanks, Barnes, for the update. Well, that's all we had time for now. More updates will be coming your way at 10 p.m. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Thank you so much for your company. And for sign language, as joined by Elizabeth Nakakoni. Well.